Ladies, gentlemen, gentle people, gentle gender fluids, undecideds, whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, welcome to episode 37 of Apologies Up Front. I'm your host for legal reasons. You'll have to call me Keego, coming to you live from the middle of winter. Winter is coming in my ears. It is a cold one here in beautiful Bray, County Wicklow. And yeah, it's been an interesting roller coaster of a week. But most importantly, I hope you're well. I hope you're happy. I hope your Monday's going well in the cold. So, where do we start? When was I talking to you last? I was talking to you about Liverpool. And then we moved on. So yeah, last week was all the run up into the big show on Friday. So on the Wednesday, I was running the show in Good Crack in the Harbour Bar and doing just tidying up a few bits set wise on Wednesday. But that was great fun, full house. Um, yeah, it really is a great little spot. So do pop up. I think there's the Hardy Har celebrating 15 years, which is insane, and they have Barry Murphy, Edwin Salmon. I think that's I don't know when that is, but anyway, you'll find it on Facebook. Go see it. It's free in, great spot, great Guinness, and it's always warm because they have an open fire in nearly every room in the house. That's important. And then on Thursday, randomly and beautifully, I opened for Joe Rooney in the Mermaid Theatre around the corner from the house here. So who have I seen in there? Deirdre O'Kane, Danny O'Brien, David O'Doherty, loads of people, right? And so it was great to actually make the walk, as they say, whenever you do a venue where you've been. I remember when I wrestled in the SFX theatre. If you're over 35, you'll remember what that is. Maybe if you're over 40, you'll remember what that is. But it was like when there was no seats in it, there was about 600 people, big stage, and my first gig was in there in 1996. I went to see Bush on the Razorblade Suitcase tour, and the same week I saw Green Day on I think it was the Insomniac tour or whatever. So that was my start, but it was in that arena, and like Foo Fighters had played there, Rage Against the Machine, Tool, Thin Lizzy, Metallica, Megadeth, all these sort of bands that I love, and I got to wrestle there way back in the day. So you walk in, you go backstage, and you're walking the corridor behind the stage. The entrance was if you were never there, it doesn't matter. But the entrance is opposite the front door, basically, and the ring was in the middle. So the stage had kind of expensive seats, and the stage was to the right as you look at the stage. But you walk the same corridor, same dressing room, same changing rooms, everything like that. So you're sitting in there, and you see the pictures of Dave Grohl and Maynard Keenan, Hetfield, Rosdale, Billy Joel, all these, Phil Lynott, Bono, everybody in there, and you kind of see you walk the same corridor with the same lights. And you walk out. It was just an amazing feeling. And then obviously slightly different. I went out and fake fought someone in a pair of tights for money. But there you go, slightly different reactions. But I had a similar thing when where were we in the Tivoli? Obviously for OTT wrestling, you'd do the same walk, and there'd be posters of Dermot Morgan, Brendan Grace, Brendan O'Carroll, all these sort of Irish comedians. I think Tommy Tiernan was on the wall as well. So to do the same walk, it's an interesting, it's a weird Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass kind of thing. So it was great, you know what I mean? And then walking, it's the same walk in the Mermaid Theatre as it is in all theatres, all wrestling shows, and so you kind of get that. I kind of got that similar feeling. The adrenaline was starting to pump out my eyeballs. Walked out there, and it's great. It's a weird audience. It was an interesting audience because there was. I would have expected Joe Rooney would be kind of my age and maybe 10 years below that. 32 to 42, that kind of area. The Father Ted thing, all that. But it was a bit of everything. I got quite old, and it didn't really go down past me, if you like. So maybe late 30s, all the way up to hundreds. So I'm having a cup of tea here. It's that cold. So I don't know. Yeah, it was interesting. Not what I expected. It went really well. Everyone was happy and laughed and all that sort of stuff. But it was very cool of Joe to let me jump up there and do that. Much appreciated, and really got me ready to rock and roll for Friday. So I got up and I was trying to work. I did a bit of work on Friday. Just I was getting, work as in real world work. But as we kind of started getting past lunchtime, the hour started flapping a wee bit. I had the show on the Friday, the Ireland match on the Saturday, and so yeah. What time did I leave here at? Kind of left Bray about 5 o'clock. If my boss is listening, I left Bray 25 to 6. Got into town, walked into the venue, got it set up. It looked amazing. So I don't know if you've been there before, but if you ever see a gig or the gig on, or a friend of yours is running a comedy gig, not just me, anybody, it's perfect. It's upstairs in the old Button Factory, or the Button Factory, the old Temple Bar Music Centre. But it's basically one side of the building. And it's got all this quirky furniture, like really some really old seats, some new kind of love seats, all that sort of stuff. Lovely bar, its own area, its own kind of balcony, smoking area, stuff like that. And a really thick green curtain that goes all the way along, so it's a dark room with good lights and things like that. And the show went really well. We filled it up. I think we ended up with, I think it's 50, officially 50, but there's no way you can fit 50 people in there. So I think we ended up with like 44, something like that. It was great. But anyway, that's not important. Um, so the clips are starting to come out now. I'm starting to slowly watch it. It's a bit, it's an interesting thing to sit and watch a piece of work, you know, in front of people. So that's work computer in the background. But it went really well. So Sean opened up, and it's the best I've seen Sean Begley. Best I've seen him in a long time. Like, he's obviously great, but he was calm. He was in the room, ready for rock and roll. So he's got his own show in the Mill Theatre on the 20th of January, I think. Tickets on sale now, so get it from there, I think. I've no idea. But go see him. It's a great show. But he warmed everybody up really well, got to know everybody. Now, we were supposed to take a break, but he'd forgotten that, so we went straight into me then. Cup of tea. But it went really well. Everyone was in good form. I think everyone wasn't too worried about Friday the 13th. They were there to have fun. We all had fun, had a couple of beers after, and then got home. It took ages for the adrenaline to wear off. Didn't really sleep on the Friday. But yeah, clips will be popping up on the Instagram. At Keegolaughs on Instagram if you're not there, and it'll be a bit of crack. Enjoy. There was a lot of fun had. So I'm going to be doing another couple of those, the hours in between now and Christmas, and then out to Doyle's Corner of Hillsborough after Christmas, and then up north, and then over to Liverpool. So it's going to be good crack. But so yeah, that's kind of the come down now is real. So I went straight from there into the watching the Ireland match. Watched it by myself because I couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the pressure. And yeah, finished up absolutely heartbroken. Yeah, that's what sport does. Elite level sport. I was sitting there screaming at the television by myself, like an old man with dementia. I'm a middle-aged man with dementia, but it was great. The lads really looked. It didn't go our way. Left it all out there, but look, it is what it is. So yeah, it took a little bit of time to come down off that. Got into Monday or Sunday even. Gee, right, today's Monday, Sunday, and we did the walk out to Dalkey to meet the old man. Have a few pints, have a bit of food in Benito's. If you're ever in Dalkey, I know Dalkey's a weird spot, but Benito's and Dalkey. I've been all around the world buying carbonara. Okay, as you know, and Benito's to top level Champions League, World Cup, semi-final, final carbonara. And a cheeky pint as well now. I don't know what they did with the pints, but they did something good with them. I don't know what they dipped in there, but it tasted delicious. So just had a couple to make sure the bar was all right. Then we went up to the old man's house and got a cab home, and that was the end of the weekend. So a nice way to finish the weekend. Roller coaster of emotions. But as we kind of move forward from I Confuse Easy, and hopefully I'll see one of the shows going forward. We have I'm doing the Bag of Cats, which is they're an improv group from, I think they're all from Dublin. They're all living in Dublin anyway, and they're brilliant. They're like I don't know anything about improv. I, uh, I talk shit, yeah, but I know nothing about improv. But these guys are brilliant. There's a group of them. I don't know if it's the same group every time, but they're last time I saw them was when I was on with them on Valentine's weekend, in Dublin in Town, which is where the show is on the 27th. So do pop out there. I think tickets available on. It'll be on my Instagram and theirs. But they had a theme last time, which was obviously Valentine's Day. This time we're getting close to Halloween, so I'll be dressing up as a crystal meth Ariana Grande. So that's worth popping in to see. I'll have the bunny ears. I will look like a schoolgirl. And yeah, what other creepy things can I do that Ariana Grande does? Very similar to, do you remember Britney Spears used to be like that, dressed as a schoolgirl? I don't know if you can say it on a podcast. Pedophile dream. It's awful stuff. But that would be me anyway. I'll be a pedophile's dream on the 27th of October. You should come along and have a look. But that's a wormhole I fell into while obviously working in between work. Um, Britney Spears isn't well, is she, lads? Do you remember? Do you remember that whole free Britney thing? And they kind of go, it's unfair. She's been held captive or whatever. Do you remember that? And there were kind of all these people who said they knew better. And now all of a sudden there was a video. Now I don't know how it showed up on my YouTube recommends. I don't know, but she was doing some dance in her kitchen, swinging a pair of knives around. Like that's not even me being using code. They were two kitchen knives. She was swinging around her head. Like the poor petal's not well. Um, I think maybe whatever was happening when pre-freedom, maybe that should happen again before something bad happens to her. Yeah, I'd rather she hangs around. I don't know what she does though. Like, hopefully, she just would just jump off social media and spend all her money. That's what I would do if I used to dress up as a schoolgirl. Uh, Sorry, just leaving that mental image with you there for a second. But like, if I was Britney and I used to dress up as a schoolgirl and shake my arse, and I made loads of money from it, I'd just be spending my money. So, but actually, while I have you there, for a small fee, I will dress up as a schoolgirl and shake my arse for money. So, Keegolaughs@gmail.com for business inquiries only. Oh, I made myself sick there. I apologize if it's ruined your Monday. But yeah, no, that's kind of been it really. Like, oh yeah, we're going to America. We're going to America on the 28th of October. And I've got kind of 4 or 5 gigs lined up for that. It's going to be interesting. I remember a friend of mine, Jess Collins, friend of ours, friend of everyone's, brilliant comedian. She was talking about when she was in Vegas doing an open mic in Vegas and how that was. Now, obviously, she would have absolutely demolished everybody on that stage. But yeah, it's just a different way they do business over there. So it's going to be interesting. I've got yeah, some nice clubs like the Comedy Cellar and a few other places like that. And I'm the smallest amount of time I have is 7 minutes, so that's good. I get to make an absolute easy to myself for at least 7 minutes, which is good. So we'll see how that goes. You might hear the screams, but it'll be interesting to see how they do business. From what I see on, I think there's what have I got? I've got two normal open mics, and then there's kind of three support slots. So I think I'd be if there's a headliner, there's three in the first half, then the headliner is how they said it to me. So I'll be in one of the first three. So I don't know what they talk about. Like it looks like some people are very um, graphic. I I wouldn't be. So I don't really know. It's a bit like when you go in and you do gigs and you see people talking about this is my vagina. Do you see it there? The lips, the hair, the vulva is the bit on the inside, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't do that because I don't have a vagina. Oh, that's very cold today. Maybe I will end up with a vagina. But yeah, with that mental image, I'm currently in the middle of a Visio. You know Visio, where you just throw the boxes on the page to show where everything goes. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan of work, really. Yeah, I think there's a market for me to be dressed as a schoolgirl. So yes, just going back to it, on the 27th of October, I'll be dressed as Ariana Grande on Halloween, and you should pop along. All the info will be on my Keegolaughs.com. Um, but yeah, it was just a quick one because I haven't been speaking to you in a while. I hope you're well. I hope all is good. I hope you've recovered from the Ireland match. I hope the week coming is the best week of the year so far. I'll be talking to you again during the week because I'll be in the office tomorrow, so I won't be talking to you tomorrow. I'll definitely be working for most of the day. But let's finish like this, as we always do. Let's hug those we love. Let's tolerate those we don't. Let's always look fantastic in skinny jeans.